Hey guys, so it's been a minute since I've made a video, and we're just gonna dive straight into this one. No intro, no visuals for this video, because it's just gonna be a more down-to-earth video. Again, this one's gonna be a lot more fleshed out than the last future of this channel video that I made. And this is gonna be a pretty important video regarding the channel and everything. Let's just start by talking about one of the main reasons that I even created a YouTube channel in the first place. Country balls. If you want to get real technical, it was actually Thomas, but then I transitioned to country balls, but we're not going to talk about that. So yeah, country balls was like the main thing that got this channel rolling. That's why the PBF Films exist, and that's why the majority of the channel is based on country balls back in the day. Even on the old Poland Ball fan account, which for those who don't know, that's what PBF stands for. PBF, Poland Ball Fan. Yeah, so the story behind it was, back when I first made the PBF branding, we'll call it brand. Yeah, all that throughout that 2019, early 2020 period, country balls was just my entire basis. Like, I always based myself around country balls. Like, that was like everything back then. And then sometime around like mid-late 2020, I just started like completely phasing myself out of country balls. The spark like died, and I started getting more into like object shows and all the other stuff that I was into back then. But then around late 2021, so like September, the spark came back at an all-time high, and thus PBF Films, as we know them today, were born. I had made the first Balkan meeting, went into a hiatus trying to plan out how I wanted to do the series. I had a few drafts of a bunch of other animations, and then what is now I Heart Ukraine came out, because I started making that around the time the Russia-Ukraine war started. And since around that time was when my summer break had started, so the entire summer I was just on the absolute grind. I pumped out like 5 other films after that. But then after that, I had technical difficulties, and my phone decided to shut down on me. So literally everything, all of the assets, all of the drawings, the original Film 7 draft, all of that vanished with a single shutdown of a device. And it was at that moment where, even after I got my new phone, I made like newer assets, the ones that I'm using now, like a year after the fact that I got the new phone. Because around like after that, after I lost all the progress, like in retrospect, I was thinking, oh my God, I have to redo all of that work that I just did. And I just lost motivation. The massive spark that had literally just came back already left. And most of Film 7, as I've already stated, a lot of it, a good portion of it is animated. And since the time that I made Film 6 and to present day, I've learned newer animation techniques. All the animations look cleaner, and everything is just better than it used to be. So whenever I do come back around to making that, it'll look better than it did before. The main reason I'm bringing all of this up is because ever since Film 6, I feel like a lot of people, like, I get Discord DMs. I've had people like privately message me on like other platforms. They're like, where's Film 7 at? Where's that PBF film at? Are you still working on that PBF film? Like, after I made those first films and I had that massive, like, animation rampage, we'll call it, I feel like people have watched the videos specifically because they wanted to see country ball content, and, like, they're expecting me to do exactly that, work on Film 7. But in recent times, I've been talking about something, and I've been way more interested in something that has absolutely nothing to do with country balls whatsoever. Dragon Ball Legends. A lot of my recent videos, including the rant videos, have been centered around Dragon Ball Legends, and I've just been more into Dragon Ball in general and the PCU, which Dragon Ball is just a huge inspiration for the PCU, hence all of the transformations that PBF has. And as you could tell with the transitions in my profile and the banner and all like the marketing / branding for the channel has phased completely away from country balls. And if we want to go that far, it's phased away from countries as a whole. Because in recent times, like, due to all of the like news regarding like what's going on with the world right now, like I've lost complete interest in countries to a point where I like audibly groan whenever I like hear about countries and country news and like the war, like for instance, the war in Iran right now. Like I'm just so over it at this point. And most of my social media reflects the shift in interest, where instead of the usual country ball branding, I've transitioned to either PCU or Dragon Ball branding. And my new channel bio, which it has been for quite some time, I make videos on shit that interests me. Now it's time to talk about what's going to happen to the channel moving forward and the shift of interest that's happened over the last year. Firstly, let's just get things straight. PBF Film 7 will happen eventually. I don't know when I'll come around to finishing it, and I stated in the last video that I'd probably cancel the whole series after Film 7 comes out, which my stance on this actually has changed a little bit. Like, I want to continue the storyline because the last PBF film, at the end of the last PBF film, is when I wanted to kick off like the lore behind the series, and I had a whole like arc planned out. But you guys have to remember that I'm the only person animating these, and I can get demotivated to do something extremely easy. It's not even funny. So I don't want to put false hope into anybody's hearts like I have like the last two times that I've said PBF Film 7 is coming. So just expect it to come soon. Probably not this year. My main priority right now resides in the PCU. PCU Explained will be making a comeback soon, probably at the end of this month or at the beginning of next month. And I do want to start making PCU-centered content. Oh, and by the way, CWR is on indefinite hiatus, so sorry to the fans of that. I'm trying to like rework what I want to do with the series, and right now it's like not going in the way that I would like it to go right now. I know I've been kind of lacking with the Dragon Ball Legends like news stuff, like the after party video and the countless rant videos that I've made, but they are making a Xenoverse 2 collab, so that's pretty cool. Too bad it's coming in like 2 weeks, but hey, at least it's happening. Tani, do not fuck us over again, please. But one thing Dragon Ball Legends related that I've been making recently are edits. If you've seen my last 2 shorts, I've been dipping my toes into editing, and I like it. I just hope I don't get demotivated like I've been like on countless other things. But hey, who knows? Maybe I could start making commentary on other games like CRK. But yeah, I'm going to cut the video here because it's getting pretty lengthy already. If you've managed to sit through this entire video, props to you. You're a real one. Anyways, the video's over. Goodbye.